Welcome back to Turtles Hot Rods. Today we are going to be building a custom firewall on this truck, reshaping the original firewall so that it's more symmetrical. We're going to be reinstalling the dash and installing air vent holes and the air vent pucks. So if you're fairly new to the channel, you've probably been wondering why one side of the truck is primed and the other side isn't. And that's just because I don't have a very big shop to work on this. And I worked on it one side at a time, whichever side was away from the blowing rain. And when I got one side done, I primed it up so that it wouldn't get re-rusted like this side did whenever it was getting rained on. Because at one time, this whole truck was sandblasted clean in here. So the first thing I have to do is grind all of my welds that I haven't grinded, slick everything out, clean it up with a wire wheel, the whole inside of the truck, and put a good coat of primer on it. I'm not going to show any of that, but I'm going to use magic. My magic also made it sundown. So, anywho, got it done. It turned out pretty good, I think. Alright, so we got the dash. I cleaned it up a little bit. And I went ahead and traced out some circles. So, set them on there. I measured from the side and to the bottom. And both of them are within about a 1/16 of an inch, which is close enough. You'll never see that difference with your eyes. And I went ahead and just made some lines across the middle. And then measured to the center from 2 or 3 different directions. And it's a 2.5 inch diameter hole, so 1.25 inches to the middle is your center. Punched a hole, did a pilot hole, and I've got these sheet metal hole saws that I picked up off of Amazon. They're actually pretty good shape. It was $55 for an 18-piece kit, and this is the biggest one. It's 2 3/8, I think. Yeah, it says right there, 2 3/8. But I don't think that that's going to be big enough to fit this through there. So we'll have to use the die grinder right here and make the holes a little bit bigger. But I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera and drill some holes. You can see now it don't fit. It don't go in there, but that ain't that big of a problem. I'm just going to take my die grinder and very carefully eat away at the edges and test fit it after every couple of passes until it goes through snug. Oh, hello, Oreo. Hi. You ready to ride? You ready to ride? Go for a ride? Yeah? Go for a ride in the truck? He said, yeah. All right, buddy. We're going to go for a ride one day. We're going to go for a ride one day. Yeah, not tonight. Truck ain't done. It's got a plastic motor in it. It needs a metal motor. I'll let you know when it's ready. All right, see you later. Anyway, as I was saying, die grinder, meh, test fit, meh, test fit, meh. Oh, it fits. There you go. Okay, so if you didn't know, this truck is a non-AC model. That should have been evident by me having to cut holes over here for some vents. Well, there's also supposed to be a vent right here in the center of the truck. And there's no hole right here in the dash. So this piece is pop metal, chromed, very nice, came from Vintage Air. It has that curve in it right here that's going to fit nicely right in there. But I have to get it centered, mark, cut, drill a hole that this can pop into and fit nicely. See that shape right here? The outline? I marked the middle of this. It's 13 inches from there to there. So 6.5 inches is the dead middle. I marked the middle of that, and I just kind of set it on there. And very carefully traced out around the edges with a Sharpie. So now, I'm going to take and very carefully trim this piece out. That looks pretty good. They fit pretty good. Okay, it is time to get rid of this ugly, ugly firewall. So, a couple months ago, whenever I first started working on the truck, one of the first things that I fixed was the firewall for whatever reason. And I haven't finished grinding this down. I will finish this. It will look nice before it gets any body work on it. But I thought that I was just going to weld up all the holes and have a shaved firewall look, and that would be fine. But the more I look at it, the more I hate this firewall. So I got some 16 gauge sheet metal. It's decently thick. And we're going to make a template right now of this whole section here, all the way down to there. It's going to come down to that, go across, and then come up and around. Going to make a template for that, and then we're going to make a template for this side as well. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do that's going to change the look of this firewall for the better is I'm going to get rid of this weird little knockout thingamajig. I got that trimmed out, and you can kind of see how I'm going to go about making each one of these pieces. Here we go. Got them cut out. Gonna get these bead rolled tomorrow, and then we'll put them on the truck. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do the passenger side first. Got my bead roll done. Looks pretty nice. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna cut out about a 1/2 inch down from the edge around the perimeter. And then when I get down to this brace, I'm not going to cut it because that actually braces the whole cab. So I'm going to go around that. And I'm going to come 1/2 inch here, up, over into here. And I'm probably just going to cut up and cut all of this out because we're replacing all of that. So I'm going to cut all that out. I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting. I made a window. I cut a little bit too much. I was going to cut back here, all of that out, and put in the firewall, but I didn't realize when I started cutting that that's part of the inside of the truck. And I don't really want to remove none of that, so I welded it back up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my piece here, bring it over here, I'm going to get it where I want it to be, which is something similar to that. And then I'm going to put screws along the top edge. That's why I left about a 1/2 inch lip. And I'm going to screw it to the firewall. As you can see, I went ahead and got the plate screwed to the firewall. And I took some metal tabs, bent them up, and they're just resting. They're not actually attached to the truck right now, but they're welded to the plate, welded to the new firewall. And the idea is whenever I take the screws out and cut out more metal, you can see the line where I traced all the way around it, where I'm going to follow with my cutter, and I'm going to cut. I should be able to take that plate and just set it back on there, and then self-tap drill through those tabs and have that piece hold still so that it can't move. That's the plan. I'm going to see how that goes. all the way around the side, all the way around the bottom. And I still have to get in here. You can see into the inside of the truck. I still have to close that off. So that'll be what I do next. And then after that, I'm gonna make a piece to go. Around the edge and down to the bottom. Weld all that in, and the passenger side will be done, and all I gotta do is grind it. This is what I got going on. Just took a piece of metal, cut it to the right width, made it a little bit long, and tack welded it in place as I'm bending it around. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim up this edge and then finish weld the whole thing. And then this side will be done. I added some metal in under the bottom. You can see there. And whenever I do the body work on the Firewall, I'll float all that out with some mud and have a nice round transition right there. It'll look good. Here we go. That turned out pretty good. I think it looks all right. Everything is welded all the way around. I went ahead and grinded the welds down, slicked them out. I think it looks pretty nice. Now to go do the other side. Before I do the other side of the Firewall, I want to go ahead and install my wiring loom bulkheads. And figuring out where I want these to go is a little tricky. But I think I've got it. Okay, so you see those two little pilot holes down there? I drilled them because this is where I'm gonna have the pass-through. I only need one, I hope, because the LS uses the same computer to run the engine and transmission, so it only has about a 3/4 inch wiring loom if you wrap them really tight, and then the chassis wiring harness is just gonna be the horns, the fog lights, the turn signals, the side markers, and the headlights. So like 7-8 wires up in the front, and we will run that out right here. And also running out right here will be the AC lines and heater hoses going to our vintage air box inside the cab of the truck, which is going to be mounted up here, and then the computer will be mounted behind it or below it down here somewhere. But I think right here, the wiring bulkhead will be high enough away that I don't have to make some sort of a panel to cover it, or if I do, it'll just look like a false firewall. So I think that this is going to look nice. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out. Went ahead, got it all welded up, welded in there. You can see now where it's going. It's pretty well hidden behind the engine. All that is going to be painted black down in there. The wiring loom's going to be black. There's going to be taller valve covers that probably going to sit up to here, and a big intake manifold. So that should be pretty well hidden, but also in a very convenient location for running my wires through the middle of the engine, running the wires around the side of the engine, however I need to do it. Here we are. Got the other panel done. About to get it put on. Okay, just like the other side, I've got these tabs welded on, and then I screwed the panel to the Firewall. If you look in here, you can see I traced it out, the holes where they're supposed to go. I got it fitting pretty good. It's just sitting on there right now. It ain't screwed in place. But if you look down it, if you sight it, it's pretty close to the other side. Now, I will push this in
some more. You can see that goes in where it needs to. And it should be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes for the brake master cylinder. I'm not going to drill a hole for the steering column because we're going to go with a smaller hole rather than that big egg-shaped hole. Professional. There we go. Look at that. We got a custom firewall. We got a custom friggin' firewall, dude. I think I'm gonna stick the dash in. I don't know if I'm gonna weld it in, but I'm definitely gonna put it in there, put some bolts in it, and a couple clamps. Back in the truck. For the first time in a little while. Oh, ain't enough room in there. I put the cowl panel on there. I just wanted to put my peepers on that. That looks pretty cool, dude. You just imagine all the green primer. Imagine it being black. Alright. It's all black. It's all bodywork nice. Shiny motor. It's gonna look really good. We're a long way from there, but we're closer than we were yesterday, and that's the goal.